Welcome to video number 9, creating your own custom effects using QuickShow XL. This video is a little bit different because I'm not sort of going through a predetermined path of things to get you to an objective. I just want to show you what some of the things are that are possible and then encourage you to get the software and dig around and play with it for yourself. There are so many different things that you can do within the software to customize your own effects, change the colors, change the shape, morph them, bend them, scale them, flip them. Do all sorts of crazy stuff that I can't possibly show you how to do it all right now. And to be perfectly honest with you, I'm probably one of the least facile people with this particular part of the program. But it's so easy, anybody can do it. And so what I do when I have a bit of free time is I go in and just poke around, and that's what I'm going to do right now. So you'll be witness to my sort of messing around, see what some of the options are, and then you can get it and really play with it and find what's going to work best for your particular application. So to start off, I'm going to start completely from scratch. I have nothing. Right? I could take any of these patterns that are up here, anything that comes in the workspace, anything that comes in QuickShow XL. In fact, all of the additional content from QuickShow XL was made using the exact procedure that I'm going to show you right here. I can start from anything, but I'm going to start from total scratch, and basically I've just chosen a triangle. I have a yellow triangle that I've gotten from the QuickShape tab right here. So first things first, I can either have a complete triangle or I can have a series of dots in my triangle. I have a beam speed adjustment that I can adjust here to adjust how fast the dots are going to move, or if I have a solid triangle, there's nothing to move, so the triangle doesn't move. Okay, so I can have it be a circle, I can have it be a line, all these basic shapes up here. I can change the size of the shape. Let's go back to a circle just for fun. And let's go ahead and change it to dots. And you see I can change the diameter of the circle just like this. I'll just go ahead and put it out there. I can change the number of points in the circle from a whole lot of points to a very small number of points. Right, there we go. I can change the beam speed as I showed you. I can flip through the colors, so on and so forth. Okay, that's fun. And then what I can do is I can go over here to this part. Let me put this back on solid shape so I can show you how this works. These are various effects that will allow you to morph the image in a bunch of different ways. These are quick reference sort of things. You can do everything manually using sliders, and I'll show you how to do that in just a second. But just for fun, let's start with something that's fairly simple, fairly basic. Let's do a normal circle. Let's have it be an actual circle so that you can see it pretty well. And let's make it cyan. And we'll start from that. Super boring, but it's a good place to start. Fine. So we'll go ahead and take that, drag it into our workspace, and there we have a cyan circle. Okay, cool. So what I'm going to do is I am going to go to, actually right here, to Effect, and I'm going to double-click this guy. And this is going to add an oscillating effect from my favorite effects list. I can turn this off so it'll only oscillate on the one axis. I can turn this off, it goes to still. I can do this, it'll oscillate on the other axis. Or I can do this and it'll do both axes at the same time. I can change where it starts and finishes, so I can affect the thing in a whole bunch of different ways. I can speed it up, I can slow it down, I can do all kinds of things. And then I can change the way in which it works entirely. So let's say we'll do it completely random. So it just flips around random, just completely insane. That's a bit too much. So I'm going to smooth this out, make it nice, fluid, smooth motion. Okay, cool. Let's say that I don't particularly like the color of this thing. Cyan, you can get to cyan very, very easily. So let's do something a little bit more complicated. I'll go to Add and Add Color Effect. And oh, see, now I have an RGB circle, red, green, and blue. But as I'm looking at it, let me just stop this for a second, just so that you can see it nicely. That red really isn't doing much of anything for me. It's just a little sliver right there. So what I'll do, I think, is I'm going to maybe, I don't know, let's change this to a different color. I'll double click this and maybe I'll make this blue. And so it'll be blue, green, blue. And so you have the cyan there, you have the green and the blue, and now I've just made a segmented, multicolored circle completely from scratch. I can do this with a logo, I can do this with an abstract, I can do this with whatever you want. You can add more color points in here and you can have it go red, green, blue, red, green, blue, red, green, blue, red, green, blue, so that it's all nicely segmented around the circle. You can bend it, you can flip it, you can scale it. Let's go ahead and just add another effect to this. How about, oh gosh, we did size already a little bit. Let's just do a surface warp and see what that does. And I'm going to go ahead and do this. And I'm going to pull this down, and look what I'm doing. I'm just sort of moving this guy around, and I can make these moves on a timed basis. So I can take this guy, I can drag him a little bit further, and see as this effect is going to play, it's going to change the shape of the circle. Really neat little thing for if you want to create your own custom morphs. There are so many things that you can do with this, and I've just showed you 3 of the big ones. You can do morphs, you can do colors, well actually 4, shapes, and you can do motion effects. Very easily, it's all slider based, there's no math or no crazy equations and so on and so forth. You just basically pick what you want, stick it in there, and feel free to experiment, play around, find what's going to work best from you. This is one of these things that you can play with for days and days and days and still be finding new stuff, but getting to what you need if you're in a hurry is fairly quick and just takes a few minutes of tinkering around. This is video number 9, creating your own custom effects. This is just a quick little demo. We strongly encourage you, get QuickShow XL, play with it. There are so many things that come along with the package that you'll be sure to find something that'll work great for whatever your application might be.